How are you? If you guys have any questions that you'd like to ask her when she comes, start getting them ready. Basically, I'm just gonna, talk when she comes and join. And then also, so I don't know if you guys have been watching my live, but I've been doing a weekly show with Maya and me about on different topics and stuff like that. So with the live, you got to be prepared to just talk عن الصوت كده لأنه يعني حاجات بتاخد من طويل كده. أنا ممكن يعني ابتدي أحكي لكم بالأفكار وكده وزي ما حدثنا كده على بال ما I'm just gonna double check the time. In the business world, all right, can you hear me? Is that better or worse? My guy, you wouldn't happen to have headphones that connect or anything like that? It's an iPhone.
I don't have iPhone.
Do you have normal headphones?
Yeah.
This is iPhone 6, so it's got the auxiliary.
Yeah, I've got them.
Perfect. All right, we're trying, hopefully, my boy Andy is going to hook us up with headphones. Rahma, can you hear me? If I bring the phone closer to myself, can you hear me? Or no? And also, I'll tell him to lower the TV as well. All right. So, yeah, wallahi Sudan. I know it's like business week and entrepreneurship week, okay, and I loved every single minute I was there. The whole time I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about life. Evaluated different things. All right, you got the headphones. But if I had to describe Sudan in one word, مع احترامي للسودان ولناس السودان والمغتربين وكده، السودان مهبط شديد. بعدك انت كل يوم بتصحى من الصباح وبتمشي برا تلاقي زي 500,000 زول، وكل واحد بيهبطك أكتر من الثاني. وزيادة على كده لما يسمعوا إنك انت جاي من إنجلترا وكده وبتاع غايتهم. فانت كل يوم you need to refresh, recharge, breathe, take a deep breath and start over again, وبعدين بجد السودان محتاج عناية، محتاج يعني تغيير جو منه. بعدين جملتين دائما بقولهم للناس، يعني إذا كان السودان زمان حلو بناسه، السودان بقى حلو بعدم ناسه، لأنه الناس كلهم سافروا، الناس كلهم ما في شيء. I don't know what's happening with Isra time. So basically with business you need to, come early. So if you're not 30 minutes early to your interview, you're late, Unfortunately Sudan بالعكس لو ما تجي ساعة متأخر ما زول. فدي أكتر حاجة الناس لازم يغيروا فيها. لكن I'm planning to set a challenge, all right? So this is something I've been struggling with, and I studied technology entrepreneurship, and I graduated in 2010. So I've been trying to find out the answer to this since I started my undergraduate, my university thing in 2007, right? What the word entrepreneurship actually means in Arabic. Because in English, it is a French word coming from enterprise, entrepreneurship. Yes, I took French for a couple of years, so moi je parle très petit peu français. So in English, the word carries the connotation of risk for, you risk financially to make a great reward, or you're solving a problem, right? In Arabic, it seems like they use the word ra'id al-a'mal, but that's not true, because businessman is not the same as entrepreneur. And while we go throughout our series of lives and stuff like that, we will discover that. So the person that can come up with the best Arabic word translated for entrepreneur, entrepreneur بالعربي بياخد جائزة. This is live and exclusive and recorded. فأنا بديه جائزة 50 جنيه استرليني. تمام. All right, I'm gonna try the all right, give me 1 second. I need to help my boy move the table a second. Yeah, I got this one, yeah?
Lift up it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, we moved the table. All right, I'm gonna actually have to move location. Can you just lower the volume of the TV when you get a chance, my boy? All right, I don't know what's happening with our queen, our guest Isra. Right, so I can tell you a little bit about my life lessons and stuff like that until she comes, or I could actually do shout outs. I can talk about. Right, let me see. Let me try to use my other phone to listen. Is the Wi-Fi working?
Yeah. Do you want it on?
Yeah, if you don't mind. All right, my boy's hooking us up with the Wi-Fi, and that's the one thing that I've missed when I'm in Sudan. This internet connection speeds. All right, so my other phone is connecting. I actually got a surprise for you, a present. My guy Andy, you're gonna be Sudanpreneur people's favorite person. Can I see your phone a second? All right. So this is the latest Samsung, and this phone is so dope. Yeah, you see, it's like a little bit bent. It's because it's that phone. That phone. Yeah, this is that new Samsung phone.
Here's the other one.
And then there's another one. There's not just one. There's two. See, wait, let me open this one. So imagine the phone is like this small. All right, and then it opens up. Look at that. Look how awesome this is. You've got this one, and you've got this one. All right. I'm gonna actually show you guys. Andy, 1 second. And I think we're gonna have our lives here every day. Andy doesn't mind. Andy, do you mind? Do you want to say hi to the camera?
No.
All right, he's busy. He doesn't want to say hi. Okay, it's all good. We've got our expat mom in the house, so she's here. We've got her request. Here you go. So he's one of my close friends. I've known him for a while, and he's taught me a lot about business. But here we have expat mom, Isra, in the house. Salaam alaikum. Kaifik ya Zola?
Walaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm very well, very well. I'm going to, put the headphones in because I think that might make it a little bit easier for you to hear me, and will also allow my friend
Oh my God, what is happening
Andy
here? What
to
is that?
have his peace and quiet. But do you want to tell us your wish? مش الزول بيقول لك كل سنة وأنت طيب. فالسنة الجاية next Global Entrepreneurship Week 2021, 17th of November. What do you want to have achieved, or what do you want to have happen?
Oh my God, 2021. I guess next year is gonna be again a year of yes. I alternate. I have a year of no's, and then I have a year of yes. So I guess this year is gonna be a year, like 2021 is gonna be another year of yes. And I'm trying to finish off 2020
I love how self-aware you are.
as my year of no's. Did I freeze?
لا لا لا. I love how self-aware you are.
Oh. So anyways,
you know
next
what I
year
will
is
wish
a
for
year
you,
of yes.
يا إسراء. All right, إن شاء الله يا إسراء السنة الجاية نتلاقى سوا نحتفل في حتة واحدة قدام بعض ما virtually, وإن شاء الله
إن شاء
ربنا
الله.
يزيد لك
آمين.
السنين بتاعت اليس وينقص لك السنين بتاعت النو في حياتك كلها إن شاء الله.
تسلم كثير ولك المثل زي ما بيقولوا. ولك المثل. تسلم كثير أشرف. And thank you for all of the work that you're doing with Sudanpreneur, and الانرجي بتاعك towards it is very inspiring. You can tell it's your baby and you're really trying to build it, and it's a very personal account, and it's definitely a gap in the Sudanese market. Thank you for filling that gap and connecting us.
My pleasure. All right, I'm going to start us off with a very personal story, and I'm going to embarrass you a little bit. So me and Isra, we have a very strong connection. But طبعا في Sudan, there's 6 degrees of separation, but in Sudan, it's more like 3.5 degrees of separation, and we owe you the rest. We owe you 3.5.
2 degrees.
basically أنا عندي جدي اللي هو بيبقى لي أمي عمها طوالي، وبيبقى لي أبوي ولد خالته طوالي، اسمه البروفيسور الدكتور مالك بابك البدري. ومالك ده آخر من أولاد بابك البدري عايش، فهو كان متزوج خالتك صح؟
Yes, أخت ماما.
وأخت ماما طوالي. وقاموا
Yeah.
عندنا قصة ظريفة هخلي إسراء لو دارت تقولها، لكن نحن كان في نسابة يوم من الأيام، لكن جدي ده قام طلق وحصل سوء خير وقسمه ونصيب اتفرتقت وكده، لكن إسراء وأنا نسايب وكده
هسه ده بيجينا
وكده
نسايب تاني.
ممكن. والله كويس.
That's right.
بختي كان كده. والله ما أعرف غاية أقدر أقول لك
أميرة
عاد
وأحمد
وياسين
صح؟
وياسين
Yes,
Nasbani,
yes, yes.
shout out to Nasbani. And
Yeah.
Amira was actually one of my my Ahfad student ambassadors. So, we are quite good friends. But let me start by, the first thing I wanted to say, and I really do appreciate your words. They really mean a lot to me. In Sudan, we have a problem with modesty. And I think we should be bragging because we are the best thing ever. We're God's gift to humanity.
Yes.
بالكلام كيف؟
True that.
All right.
Tell it like it is.
100%. All right. So the first question, and I think I sent you the questions, right?
Yeah, بس أنا مصحصحة من النوم. You know, it's 12:30.
Right. I'm gonna say another embarrassing story. شفتي أنا رسلت المسج للناس كلهم وقلت لهم أنا داير أعمل بتاع ده وكده وفي الأيام المعينة وكده، فقامت إسراء قالت لي خلاص تمام قدام. بعد ذاك أنا قمت قلت لها تمام. بعد ذاك قمنا خديناه أول يوم وكده وبتاع وكده ونسينا نكلمها.
By the way,
نسينا نكلمك صح? We forgot to tell you. And then literally
yes, that's
after
right.
the poster was designed and everything, like literally yesterday, I was like, oh, by the way, Isra, you're starting us
لحظات.
off. Tomorrow's
Can I stop this for 1 second?
No problem. Go and do your thing.
Do you hear him?
Yes, baby needs his mom, yeah. All right, so I will continue talking and embarrassing Isra while she's gone. فبجد يعني إسراء, she came and saved the day لأنه روحها رياضية شديد، ومبارح وريناها وكذا وبتاع وكذا 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 وكذا، وقالت طوالي. بعدين حتى المسج حقتها وكذا كانت حاجة جميلة شديد وظريفة شديد. أنا حقوم استفيد من وقت الفاضي وأقوم أكتب الأسئلة كلها وأقول عليكم. So the first one is introduce yourself, name and business. The second was tell us about your journey and obstacles that you faced through. How did COVID-19 impact your business? How was your job environment affected after Corona? All right, she's back. Okay, خلاص السؤال الأول طوالي صح؟ جاهزة؟
Yes, go ahead.
All right. يا نسيبتي يا حلوة. Introduce yourself, your name and your business, and tell us anything you want to tell us about your business or about yourself.
Sure. Let me block Sharif here. So basically, my name is Isra Ibrahim Bani. A lot of the people call me either as moms, call me Isra expat mom. It's really interesting, both of the ventures that I've related to moms and parenting. But I think the only thing that I have ever ended up really doing and diving into, like as a full-time thing, when I was working for 4.5 years, was definitely Mom's Guide. And it's more of a social entrepreneurship or trying to build around community. And that's a very different business to a lot of other business models. And I think for someone who didn't have any business background, basically studied epidemiology and research, and I used to work with HIV/AIDS and stuff. So creating a business was really something I had to learn on the job. But I also developed a preference for, I like to run a business because I'm basically not one of those serial entrepreneurs. Do you know how, like, when somebody feels like there is a trend in buying makeup, you go and buy makeup, or there is a trend in solar energy, so you go and invest in solar energy. I don't understand that type of mentality. I just feel I believe very strongly in something called the personal brand. And it's basically when the brand is you, it's very hard to replicate, regardless of how much of it is out in the market. Uh, when you have a passion, it does versus someone who's running the exact same thing for the purpose of making money. It really does make a huge difference. People would support a business that has no investment and is really small but is full of heart versus a business that's very shiny and it's a chain and there's lots of money behind it. So Mom's Guide definitely was really special. Definitely there's lots of different directories in the country now, but I don't think it has the feels of Mom's Guide. And I'm thinking about in 2020 when things kind of calm down and you could definitely meet in person again. It might just swing back and come back, but yeah, that's where we are right now.
I love it. All right. So you mentioned some of the obstacles and stuff like that, but so the second question is, tell us about your journey and the obstacles you faced throughout. So if you can talk about particular examples of like situations that you found especially difficult and like a little bit how you overcame it or what solutions you came up with.
So I guess with Mom's Guide, one of the biggest obstacles was definitely creating and maintaining a team. So when you're building a business, and especially if you have zero investments going into it, so you're building it from scratch for 0 dirhams, right?
Yeah.
You really have to build, like, first of all, you can't do it on your own, so you need to build a team. And in order for you to build a team, they need to have to feel as inspired and as the same part of like ownership towards the business as you do. And to sustain that for a long enough time to actually see the fruits coming back, or like the um, the returns of all of your investment. It's lots of hours, and a lot of them were moms who volunteered all of this time to kind of see this, grow. So maintaining that was kind of difficult. The other thing is that what was difficult is definitely that for me was also the diversity of the community that was here. There was a very, very diverse community. So you have the Arabic moms, the French moms, the Spanish moms, the American moms, the British moms. There's just so many of them. And in order to be heard or seen by most of these communities, you had to have within your core team people
An
from these
expert.
communities, right? And people who were in love with the brand too, who were part of the communities. That was difficult. And the third thing is definitely not having the money to go into it meant that you could have dreams as large as creating an app, but you wouldn't have money to develop the app.
Oh
So
yeah.
there were a lot of limitations of how far you could, in terms of really becoming like competitive. But then for each of these obstacles, I found some kind of middle ground solution to it. Um, uh, like for like for example, if you don't have enough money to go into your brand to make it look super shiny, right? You would actually rebrand yourself as the to the ground, real, no bells and whistles. I used to use that word a lot, actually. We're the no bells and whistles. We're just, really real. We build communities, we do X, Y, and Z. And people were satisfied, even if you printed out papers يعني من الhouse and you put them in folders, whatever. People were more attracted to the content and to what it has to offer and the consistency of that and the quality of that versus having everything just like perfectly branded with, a fancy an app, for example. So
Bells and whistles.
yeah, no bells and whistles, just the real deal.
That's it. The real McCoy.
Yep.
That's quite interesting actually, because I see my own journey in a lot of the stuff that you said.
Mm.
So in terms of like how you were saying, there's a lot of different moms, like mom types. So like your product is moms, obviously. What I would advise is if you can like specialize and narrow as much as possible, especially in the very beginning when you're starting up your business, and then also pick the battles that you wanna or the areas that you wanna, compete in and stuff like that. And then the next question I have is the most important question, which is how did COVID-19 or COVID-20 impact and affect your business?
Okay. The thing about this question is that if you run your business, the question should be how did COVID-19 impact you?
Oh
And
yeah.
I think how COVID-19 and how the world has changed impacted me has impacted, I would say all of my projects are in a hold, in a standstill, but I can't directly blame it on the nature of the product. I guess there could have been ways to change it and evolve and live with it. But it was, to me, a huge call to kind of just pause and kind of reassess everything. So for me, there was so many major changes that happened at a personal level that because my business wasn't my main source of income, it did take a more of a backseat. And I think the world could understand when you do come back. It's a great opportunity, I think, for people who want to have to relaunch or fix things that they didn't like or to reassess their actions. This is a great time to do it because the world will be forgiving for it. Whereas if everything was totally fine and you suddenly just disappear for a year, people are going to be like, what just happened? For, for me, I definitely slowed down a lot the business because the biggest part about it was a lot of events on the ground with the people. You're talking about kids events and family events and these are first of all they're illegal right now, to do them, and second of all, it's not the same having a Zoom call with a bunch of kids. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? It doesn't feel the same. I don't think I am able to adapt and replicate a lot of my programs online. It's just a different product altogether. And it's a different feel and it's a different product. So um, I didn't feel like doing that. So I'm just kind of riding it out until the community is able to reconvene again, maybe at a smaller level, then I'll relaunch it. But it might look different.
I like that. Um, all right. So the next question I think is also super duper important. And it's like a two-part question, right? So what does entrepreneurship mean to you, like in general? But then I want you to focus on like Sudanese entrepreneurship as well.
Mm. This is a really hard question. Um, I kind of like in general, as a person, as an individual, I have kind of a little bit of a version of just doing entrepreneurship for the sake of entrepreneurship or for the sake of the end goal of it being making money. I feel like you'll make a lot more money if you do your passion and something opens up while you're doing it, right? So if you love writing and you're writing,
Yeah,
it
tell
might end you up with a deal to, write a book and then you sell the book and then it I don't know, and then you become a speaker and something. This is you, and this is what you bring to the world, and this is what you leave behind as a legacy. Um, so I wish if entrepreneurship was, if we, even in Sudan, there's so much talent. People are so talented. I mean, in every community that Sudanese people live in, people talk about how educated and how qualified and how talented Sudanese people are, right? So I wish if people could trust that by following your passion and by diving deeper into it, it actually would turn into money. And when it does, nobody can really replicate you as easy, and nobody can really compete with you really that easy, because you will have a known brand, a known touch in society. So to me, entrepreneurship is studying, diving deeper into your passions, and making a living out of it so that you spend every waking morning doing what you love. And
I love
it's
that.
to live off of it.
All right. So we've got a question from Rahma, but I'm not sure what she meant exactly. So she just said, "How have you dealt with this personally?" So I'm just wanting her to ask what this is. So, and then also, does she want us both to answer, or does she just want you to answer as well? But I will ask the next question and give her time to, or I don't know. She just said awesome, so I don't know if we've answered that question for you. But another question. All right. So in terms of, all right, perfect. Rahman said you've already answered. So in terms of advertising your business and getting clients and customers and stuff like that. So how did that work, or how does that work for you? And then more importantly, like how did Corona affect that or change that?
So basically, when I started training on the job, so I didn't study business, right? But I created my own business model, and I called it the triple P, okay, the PPP. And I just came up with this model, but I basically felt like there should be 3 phases of running your business. The first one is, that's for people who don't have money, by the way. The first one is to build your platform. Okay, you decide what are all of the different platforms that you want to appear in, and you build those first. And you build those platforms. So for me, I picked Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And basically there, the content was 80-20. 80-20 meaning 80% of the content was engaging and really nicely manicured, that dealt with the type of population that I was interested in. And the 20% was actually directly talking about the brand and the things that we were doing. I did not do 80% is what we're doing, my logo everywhere, just constantly like mom's guide, mom's guide, mom's guide. And then 20% was like news from elsewhere. No, it was exactly the opposite. I would tell them about new projects that were getting built around in the city, and this, and that. And then once in a while you hear about, hey, we have this new program that's coming, and it's six-week series. So people felt like the information was constantly dynamic and engaging and interesting, and it wasn't very pushy, and too much of it. Getting a grip of creating at least 1,000 followers in all of your platforms is a good place to start moving into the next P. So the first P is platform. Next P is programs. So after you create your platform, if you don't have money, you create programs. So programs, and translate that to Abdul in a minute. So you create programs afterwards. So what do? You take the programs and you stack it on top of the platform, and there you can advertise your own thing without needing to go to other people to help you advertise. You have a little bit of a base that could hold you standing so that you don't spend all of your money in marketing. And then the third P is products. So your products are going to be stacked on top of your programs, are going to be stacked on top of your platform. So each program should have its own set of products. And these products, when I say products, they're not necessarily a t-shirt or something. But for example, if you're doing a mom, for example, I did something called, what is it called? MomX. So MomX was like for mom entrepreneurs. It was a whole program. When I created the product for it, it was a co-sharing environment where moms, after they drop off their kids, they can go into that office space and they could work on their business, and they rent an office space. So that was a product that was stacked on top of a program, right? That was a product that was stuck on top of a program that was advertised on our platform, and of course, elsewhere or with
Dude, I
our
love this. And I think
so
people will find it so useful as well.
yeah.
I
So
mean, you definitely got a lot of likes and hearts
oh,
on that point.
but
And
there are some people who want this in Arabic.
والله الصراحة في الراحة نحن
ممكن
يعني
تساعد يمكن.
ممكن غاية بنحاول ندي عليكم كلمتين بالعربي، لكن أنا أسي في إنجلترا and Sudanpreneur is a company that's registered in England. And I want to give a shout out to my one of my bestest friends in the world, Simply Persian Simone. She's in Baltimore and she definitely does not speak any Arabic. So in order to keep her and our Khawaja friends, you know, engaged, unfortunately we're going to keep it in English, and but we will throw in a couple of كلمتين ثلاثة عربية عشان الناس تكون مبسوطة يعني, so a little bit شوية شوية. And also I need to practice my English. I've literally been speaking Arabic since August, and I think pardon.
If anybody wants to contact me, I will repeat this all بالعربي, no problem. Even in they can just contact me. I have no problem. I'm very accessible. Love.
All right, so my next question. All right, so this one's quite interesting. So can you describe وصف, outline your typical day قبل وبعد, so before and after Corona? How was that?
Oh,
Couple words Arabic and a lot of English in it. ماشيين كويس يا جماعة ولا كيف؟
وصف قبل وبعد Corona. So basically what I call this a daily rhythm. Okay, so زي اللحن بتاع الدي right? الdaily rhythm.
الزيت اللحم, I love it.
Before Corona, okay, I used to live outside of the city. I used to live على بعد 35 minutes from my work and the kids' school. So we lived outside and we lived in anyways. So my day started at like 6 o'clock in the morning. We got in the car, we drove here, and then I went to work. وبعد work, after 2 hours or something, I had a child that got out of school at 12:30. I would pick them up, I would drive back home, and come back again. That's a 3 hour deadbeat thing in the middle of the day. Again at 4:30 with the other two girls, then go home. Then I would have events in the evenings. I'd have events sometimes in the morning between, the first child and the second child. So it was extremely difficult, and it was just extremely difficult. What has changed since Corona was that we simplified our living. So we moved from a 6-bedroom villa with a big yard to a So,
Got a
and
phone call.
no problem. So we moved somewhere that was very, very close to the school and the office. So the driving got cut off suddenly, right? And so my day is a lot more relaxed, and I live on the beach basically. So,
Nice. I'm
so
so jealous.
it, oh my God, it's like a very different lifestyle.
Um, my friend called me back. I needed to take the phone call.
Oh,
All right. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something that's awesome, which is what I do with Maya. All right. So we're gonna end the live here. All right. And then you do a live, and then I will join your live, and then you will
cool.
have the live on your side, so you'll be in control. How does that sound? Because I need to let my friend in, and also I need to do a couple of things. I'm not gonna lie, I also need
Sounds
to smoke a cigarette, and I don't want to condone smoking by smoking in on a live.
sounds
Right. So
very, very
we will take a 5 to 10 minute pit break, and then we will be back. All right. So our dutiful, awesome followers and viewers, come back in 10 minutes, and you will see that Isra has gone on live, and then I will join her. Tamam?
sounds all right. You take care.
Yeah. Let's see you soon.